How's it going, everyone? This is Crops, aka Beast Beats, and today we are coming with a top 8 deck profile from the GOAT Grand Prix, Fort Worth, Texas. So you can see the deck on screen now, as well as the pilot, Daniel Lasher. I'll let him introduce himself, kind of his history of when he started Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that, and then we'll get right into the deck.
Hey, I'm Daniel Lasher from Fort Worth, Texas originally, now living in Garland. Long-time player, man, since probably at least '05 or '04. I mean, it didn't take me long to kind of pick up the game, and I met some power players through Philly and I guess Jason Holloway, and I ended up joining Team Out Phase and got to hit up some regionals and have some epic times, and the rest is kind of history from there. Just kept up with the game, and then jumped back into GOAT format once I heard it was like there was a following. So I'm happy to know.
Awesome, yeah. We were happy to have you at the event. Here in front of us, we have his deck list that he took all the way to a top 8 finish, and he's going to go ahead and talk about his choices and kind of just what the deck was and what his game plan was, and maybe possibly his little tournament report over the rounds of Swiss into the top cut.
All right, yeah. As you can see, it's fairly similar to, I believe, Delinquent's deck that topped recent format, the GOAT format championship. I'm not too particular on all the differences. I believe you may have had a DD War Lady, maybe more Chaos Sorcerer, one more Chaos Sorcerer, maybe even a Book of Moon. I don't know if he ran the staple traps and Mirror Force, Trenchel, and Ring. I just needed something to give me an edge on anybody that decided to be overly aggro, and it always helps to be able to wipe the board if necessary. So I don't know. And if you think about it, running 3 decrees and not having like a way to dispense them via like card destruction, or I don't know, it doesn't help when you're deep into a game and you're drawing extra decrees. I felt like if I'm going to run decree, I might as well just run 2 and back it up with some power traps. So that was kind of the thought process, and that the deck is so splashy though. That's what makes it fun. There's lots of action. There's lots of being able to manipulate your deck. You can kind of come back from a lot of different situations as well. It doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses when you pair the side deck with it. I was really extremely happy. I think I had a great amount of fatigue after lunch. We got our pizza a little late, and it hit me like a slug. And I feel like I made some poor side decking choices because that was when I first ran into Warriors. And I mean, I played online my fair amount, and I did just fine against them. But I think that was a moment of where I'm in a great position. But in this, I was facing adversity, so I think I got flustered and I didn't side deck properly, and that's when it went downhill, and I lost to 2 Warriors in the last 2 matches of the tournament. So yeah, man, I'm really happy. I think the side deck changes possibly could be like maybe drop the Exiled for maybe a 3rd Jowgen or a Zing. A Zing would be nice. But the Exiled was kind of just spot removal if I feel like I'm playing something that's really basey and I don't need to be making profit or getting a lot of value. I just need to stay in the game and be able to like pick off cards. So I guess the Exiled force could have been something I would have changed for maybe a Jowgen, just so I could put the nail in the coffin when it comes to Reasoning Gate. Other than that, I mean, I don't really think I'm going to test much else. Like, I really want to keep evolving with this deck here because I feel like it has so much in it to dominate the field, like with the Scapegoat meta and swap. And I'm not running too much chaos to the point where I'm going to be like dead in the water. The Zaborgs can be kind of shifty in the sense that like I might get bricked with those, but if I'm able to like get my goats off and keep something on the board, I'm pretty sure I'm like in a fairly strong position. Upstart Goblin is another card. I mean, I think it helps get the Faith live, as a lot of people like to run that, but it's not really something. I might experiment around that and see if I could find some options for upstarts. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. Yeah. The and it's the Ashura Priest main deck. So that's kind of
Oh, the Asura Priest, man. If if he wasn't my favorite card art, he's great for just snagging people's stuff with swap. I mean, he's also great at controlling the field. I force you to put out your chaos and do something. If I'm pressing you, you're sitting with snatch steals and chaos in your hand. You don't know what to do sometimes, and he's kind of a funny card like that. He can force your opponent to uh, offer you opportunities to gain even more of a presence in the game. So he, he can be a fairly good card. It's one of those hate to love kind of cards, but I think he worked out great. He makes it easy to side deck out against Warrior too. I mean, you probably don't really need him. It's not going to help you that much. So yeah, I think the Asura is a strong card. I also like the Tsukiyomi. He offers a lot of opportunities with swap. When they just leave a face up flip effect monster, you can always take their flips, and I mean, there's the potential for uh, scapegoats and traps to stop that. But I mean, that's with any situation. So yeah, this deck was great as far as like being able to have like giving you enough opportunities to use the power spells and swap and meta. And to get back to that point, is like swap and meta probably single-handedly can change, like shift a game in your favor at any point in time as well. So that was kind of my choice to use those as well because they can be very devastating.
right. Yeah, they're definitely power cards. There's a lot of swap synergy in here outside of the apprentice, but yeah, the fact that swap's at 2, right? I mean, it's for a reason. I think a deck like this can really benefit off of that. And then the metamorphosis. I'd imagine you're playing 2 instead of 3 for the sake of not wanting to brick on it, or
No, I just not only that. It's just I want to like put enough like how did I say just a variety. I just want the variety in my deck so that my hands are never full of options. I can approach situations differently. And with not having a second Tsukiyomi, you can sit on 1,000 eyes at some points in time. So I'm not letting you. I'd rather not let you have the opportunity to get back in the game, and that's kind of a problem with Thousand Eyes. I guess that's where the support can come in to kind of keep the pressure up and finish the game, man.
yeah, awesome. Yeah, it seems like a pretty fun list as well. Yeah, like you said, just with all the variants, no 2 hands are pretty much ever going to be the same, and it keeps your opponent guessing, especially with the side deck.
Oh yeah, they don't know what to think. I mean, because sometimes they're like knock or smashing around. I have Apprentice. I got Tomatoes. I can draw those cards out to where it gets late game, and Faith is just dirty. So, I mean, when I build my decks, I'm not to knock on the meta or the top finishers or anything. I just want to be able to do a lot of things. I want to be able to have fun, but I also want to be able to not feel like at a loss in any particular game, especially the first one. So I just want to be able to like stand on my own 2 feet and defend myself. So whether it be a Warrior, Reason Gate, or Chaos Turbo, I think it stood pretty strong over the weekend. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it all around.
Awesome. And how were the rounds? How was Swiss?
Dude, I think I went 5-1. The majority Chaos Turbo, and I was drawing gross, just nasty, and it was pissing me off because it's like I want to. My ego's fighting myself because it's like this is a challenge because I want to be able to test the deck and grind out some wins. But I was just drawing so nasty, and they weren't able to fend me off because I guess whether they didn't have the back row or whatever it could have been. And then I played the couple Warriors, and it can be absolutely rough when they're setting their whole back row, and you're just like going into this deep dark forest, and you don't know what to expect. So
yeah, when you don't see the decree.
That's what the decree is great for. I mean, it's awesome to have. It gives you a lot of support, and I've learned something from this tournament, man. It's like I think Zing would have been nice. Potentially maybe a third scapegoat just to be able to like get some time to get back in the game. A scapegoat can get me a meta off and slow the game. I wouldn't even attack sometimes. Like if I can get 1,000 eyes, I just want to be able to feel where I'm safe and I can start operating behind my power cards. I'm not trying to just draw. I want to be able to set up in a situation where it makes it very difficult for you to take back the field because I feel like that's where the games are really won. It's not so much in card advantage always, you know.
Right. Let's see. One specific question, I guess, since it was a timed event, did the token Thanksgivings ever come up?
No, they did not. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play a reasoning gate. No panda burn either.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think there was only one panda burn player in the whole event, so it was unlikely to come across him, as well as reasoning gate. I think there were maybe one or two in the whole.
Yeah, I believe I may have heard of one reasoning gate deck, and I mean they do great online. They can blow you out completely, but kind of my ducats. I mean, I didn't run into any. I do okay against it, but it's just I feel like you got to be ready to hard side, and I don't see that a lot of times in these top deck sides. And I guess maybe that might come down to the fact that they have Solemn Judgment, so that has something to do with it. But
yeah, Solemn's definitely a good card against that deck. Let's see if there's anything else. I suppose that's what the spell cancelers were for as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Now looking at the side, I might go ahead and drop an Exiled and a Spell Canceller for maybe Zing and a third Jowgen, just so I can get that Jowgen and stifle them long enough to be able to maybe get a goat and keep them off from their OTK situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with my side. Like the token Thanksgivings can be great and against a lot of people as well. Like I didn't get to side them because I didn't run into any go control per se. I think I might have actually sided them in, but yeah, they're actually it's a stronger card than a lot of people give it credit for. I mean, you can get a big lead in life points, wash their goats away. So yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even clear your own if they think you're locked up.
Yeah, maybe the smashing grounds. I mean, it might be something I can look into. I've always been one to just, well, I'm not going to use the knock. Let's just flip it out for the strongest spell, potentially, which would be smashing. But maybe even thinking towards a Berserk Gorilla might even be a better idea because getting a little bit of advantage versus sitting there with a spell while your cards are getting smacked around by Blade Knights, etc., etc. So.
Right. I heard people liked Zimbira a lot against the Warrior matchup.
Yeah. Ryan was saying he loved the Zimbira, and paired with the Tsukiyomi, I think it resets its attack.
Yep,
I believe
sure does.
He can be a fat wall, and if you're not like putting him in too much danger, he can defend you in cases to where you're putting yourself back into the game. Never been a Zombira fan, just because he can't attack. His attack drops, of course, but I don't know. There's probably arguments against that as well. I mean, I don't, to each their own.
Right. Yeah, I usually pick the Gorilla myself, but I understand Zimbira men, especially if they're on more chaos because it's a dark as well. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Any shout outs, closing words for the.
Let me see. I'm just happy to see a lot of the guys, Ryan, Kyle, Chase. It was fun as hell just to run into them and have a day. I want to thank the promoter, Jeremiah, because that was great for him to like find a place and close as well. So that's great. I was just happy that we had a good showing, man. I mean, that's what made it all worth it. So shout out to everybody who was willing to take the time out of their day and throw down. So yeah, it was great all around.
Yeah, thank you for that. I agree. It was a pretty great event. There with the venue, we wouldn't want too many more, or else the space would get even tighter. So 32 is a pretty clean number.
Yeah, with it being a little warm and then all the bodies.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like 105 or something that day.
it was really personable. But yeah, it was a good time though. All
Yeah,
right.
definitely the hottest Grand Prix yet. I'm pretty sure we can say
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
all right, y'all. Thank you for watching. This has been Daniel Lasher and his top 8 finish from the Go Grand Prix Fort Worth. You already know what to do. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, share with friends, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.